Alrighty guys, how's it going? How's it going this morning? It's a little hazy. Not bad, but a little. And the cows are looking quite happy. Them 2 hay bales we gave them yesterday and a little bit of other stuff. That oats / oat straw that we gave them yesterday, they didn't actually clean it up 110%, but they cleaned it up pretty good. Today's buffet is cut feed and 2 hay bales again, and I'm actually gonna try and put my cut feed in a nice row, and then shred on top of it is my plan. That's the plan. Sometimes all plans are meant to fucking change though, right? It's definitely warmer, like minus friggin' with the wind chill minus 35. So it's definitely warming up, which is good. Because I don't think there's anybody that was liking this drastically cold friggin' temperatures we were having. I do have the bale processor on and 2 bales on it, so and I am gonna basically keep feeding here right close to where the cattle are being bedded down. If I can watch so I don't jackknife my friggin' bale processor here. Okay, I'm gonna keep working at this. I'll bring you guys back in a couple of minutes. Alrighty, so our first bale was an alfalfa bale. Our second bale was actually a 2-year-old green feed oat bale with lots of oats in it. I didn't realize I was grabbing an oat bale when I loaded it up until after it was already in the shredder and shredding out. But you know what? That still works. Gives them a huge variety of different food stuffs, right? But they're looking good. They're looking happy. And we're only like a month and a half from first to start seeing our first calves. End of February, guys. End of February. She's right around the corner. Anyway, something else I'm gonna do is the bottom bunk here is half, 3/4 full of cut feed. So I'm gonna take the top one off and we're gonna pull that one or move that one over a bit and get it dumped empty it out, let the cows rummage in that. So they'll have all kinds of friggin' feed for today. With that cut feed, them 2 bales and that bucket load, they'll have lots. There's no way they'll eat it all up. And I'm literally gonna dump it right where it's sitting. I'm just gonna flip the sumbitch over right where it's at. So I'll bring you back once I'm done with that. Alrighty, so there it is. She's dumped. I'm gonna leave it like that right there. But what I want to show you guys, see that? You see how all that snow is piled up? That was from the other day with that ugly wind. It was that friggin' much wind that it blew that snow. It's like 3 feet deep, 3.5 feet deep. We just ripped it all out of the fields out that way, so on and so forth. So it was a good thing that we did what we did, was stacking them up the way we did, just to give them some added wind protection. And I know they really appreciated it. And I'm just gonna leave that bunk the way it is right there, because it does have a floor in it. I broke one board tipping it up, but anyways, they could eat the feed out of it the way it is right now. And when I go to fill it up next time, I'll make sure it's right empty. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll see what else we can, see what other kind of trouble we can get into. It's almost lunchtime. I might just stop and go have some lunch. So we'll talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, how the hell you doing this morning? This is freaking nuts. Right? Actually, it wouldn't be bad if it wasn't for that damn 45k wind that we got going on here today, which makes it feel like minus 42 again. So anyway, what's on the feed menu today, babe?
Feed menu?
Yeah. What's on the feed menu?
It's bales.
No, it's not just bales. Alfalfa grass and pure alfalfa. 2 bales back there.
What are you feeding me?
Probably the same thing you fed me last night. Turkey and spaghetti. A turkey sauce with spaghetti.
Yeah, but it was good.
But it was good, yeah.
We'll do bacon wraps.
We'll do bacon wraps today. Pizza bread, stuffed pizza bread turkey with bacon wrapped over top.
No turkey.
No turkey. And yeah, I remember I said I wasn't shaving until this weather broke. Well, CP was giving me a little bit of a rough time about my whiskers, so...
It was pokey. Felt like a porcupine.
Felt like a porcupine. Aw, baby. Wah. Fucking cold on the bare skin, I'll tell you that much.
How do you think I feel? I could grow a beard.
You think you could grow a beard?
No.
Well, yesterday's menu was pretty damn good to the cows, because you know what? They didn't even friggin' eat it all.
No.
I'm not going to shortchange them on feed today. We also got 2 bales of barley straw with us for the bedding pack area, but they really didn't clean up. They didn't clean up worth a shit yesterday.
No.
It was a nicer day, no wind yesterday, and yeah, they didn't clean up worth a damn. I'm gonna drop the barley straw here. And I'm not going to shred right on top of that. I'll move over just a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of feed on the ground over there. But oh well. I'll let you guys go. We're gonna shred this out and I'll bring you back once we're done. Talk to you later. Alrighty, well, we got that done. Get turned around here. Now she's hot. Too warm in the tractor. And a couple bales of straw. Couple bales of good feed. And the water is up at the yard. And they're all looking good. We do have one cow that looks like she rubbed her tail, her backside, on a hunk of steel post or a feeder, scratching or something, and kind of froze her, scratched her hoochie coo, and she was bleeding a little bit from it, but I think she'll be okay. She's standing actually way over there. The red one right on the end of the windbreak there. So we'll keep an eye on her, see how she does over the next couple days. I don't think we're gonna have to bring her in. I think she'll be fine, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, hopefully here in another 2 or 3 days it'll warm up, get rid of this damn wind. Okay, now to get back to the yard, we got one corral to feed over there. It'll just be one bucket load of cut feed, and then to play with water bowl. Talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, well, sorry I didn't show you what I did with my water bowl, but that fucking wind, it just brutal. It bites like a sumbitch. And if you're working right now, see, barehanded, holding the camera with a bare hand and trying to work with the other bare hand doesn't work too well. So you can see how the wind is blowing the snow. But later on this afternoon, when I go back and do chores, I'll show you what I got, show you guys what I did. Anyways, for now I'm gonna call her quits. We're gonna go in, have some lunch, warm up, and we'll talk to you later. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there, see that kind of orange? And there's a couple of guys, or one guy for sure, up in a pole, mounting the power line at the top of the pole. They climb the pole by hand. They're not using a bucket truck, which I'm kind of surprised. Those guys they're definitely working for their money here today in this wind and this cold weather. So I believe there's 2 guys in that pole in particular. Warm-up truck with the door open on the ground, obviously. But they've already mounted from our yard, and they're half a mile down. It's a job I wouldn't want to be doing, and I'll say one thing. More than any football lineman or hockey player or baseball player, these guys definitely deserve every dollar they're getting. Being linemen like this, keeping the power on, and like RCMP, city police, first responders, firefighters, CP crews, all those guys that are out there to keep all our goods and services moving and keep us safe and our essential needs to us. Yeah, they definitely are worth recognition in times like this. So anyway, give those guys a big thumbs up. Talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, so as you can see way out there, we're kind of in a midst of a storm. It's snowing and it's still blowing like a son of a bitch. But anyways, I said earlier about a water bowl. So this is kind of an idea I came up with, dreamt up in my brainage. So in here, 3/4 inch plywood, a couple of screws, 3/4 on top, 3/4 on each side, outside edge. Inside here, under the plywood, we've got 2-inch styrofoam, and then this area right here, that's another 1.75 on either side, and then just baler belting on the sides, because 3/4 inch plywood would stick out farther and take away from head space. I felt too much on the bowl itself. So most of the time when these water bowls, and I don't care if you've got Ritchie, Edwards, Wheatheart, this one's a Wheatheart. The other two in the other corrals that going that way are Edwards, virtually the same bowl. Can arm, it don't matter. 90% of the time when they freeze up right underneath this top lid at the float, because there isn't enough fucking insulation in there. And that's where they're gonna freeze. Or they'll get some airflow in there. So this whole idea is to eliminate that. But because of the friggin' 45 to 50K winds, I am gonna cover half of it still tonight. So let's get it covered. My hand is freezing and I'll bring you back after. Alrighty, now we're out of the wind. Feels a little warmer. And they're getting their evening grains. 4 pails in the morning, 3 pails in the evening. That's where they're at right now. I allow them half the bowl. It's a 50 head water bowl. So they don't need the whole bloody thing. Half would be lots. Then let's just talk about that for a minute. You got 100 cows and they water, and you got 1 water bowl. Do you get a 100 head water bowl? Or do you get a 50 head or a 75 head water bowl? What's your thoughts, guys? I know myself, I would rather a 50 head or a 75 head water bowl for 100 cows versus a 100 head water bowl. Why? If the water's flowing in, then it's not freezing up. That moving water will keep things from freezing. And unless the power goes out and the cows don't have water for a day or 2 days, they don't generally, they'll come and there'll be 8 or 10 cows that drink at one time. But they'll learn and they'll take their turn at getting their drink. 2 or 3 cows can drink at one time off of a 50 head or a 75 head water bowl. But yeah, moving water doesn't freeze. Everybody knows that. Where water that's sitting and not doing nothing, that's when it freezes. So those are my thoughts anyways. So in our case, we've got 3 50 head water bowls and 1 100 head water bowl. And that's just how we water our animals. They're looking good. I like what I see. It's going to be a tough pick as to who leaves and who stays. But I'm not keeping all of these heifers. As much as I would like to, I won't be. And so Roughly half a dozen of them will go to market, and the one big one is going to freezer camp. So there'll be roughly 10 to 12 heifers that stay here. So yeah, anywho, those are just my thoughts on water bowls anyways. We've got, because of the wind, we got one more that we got to cover up. So let's get over there and do that. You coming? And she'll go underneath. Talk to you in a little while, guys. Alrighty, and that's this one covered up. It would have been nice to have had that all closed in, but never happened. Would have been nice to have had the roof going all the way across to the end, but never happened. So one thing I will say, corral 1 over there, corral 2 right here, having that roof on that part of it, like we've got 12, roughly 24 feet of rooftop that to put on in corral 2 here. But even with what we do have here, it makes a hell of a difference. We don't get the snow inside the shelter like we used to. So it'll be nice when we start calving and we start organizing our groups of cows for one pasture to the next pasture, so on and so forth. That chunky little bugger, hey? That's the heifer's calf. And then the big boy that we pulled back in August, like these are 400-pound calves, guys. 500-pound calf, that's some bitch. So yeah, these two corrals are really going to come in handy when we go to start calving. Actually, next week. I've been saying it for a while, but just never got it done yet. But next week, those heifers are coming into this corral right here. Anyways, that water bowl is now covered up and safe for the winter. So I'm gonna put my camera away. We're gonna get to the barn and I'll bring you back later. Alrighty. Another little tidbit, guys. If you don't want to cover your water bowls, like here we have an old winter front from a old Ford or GM truck, and I just cover the 1/2. But another thing we've done, if you don't have a big tarp, and you can see here there's a hunk of plywood. Well, on the underside of that plywood is a piece of styrofoam like this right here. We've trimmed it to fit inside the bowl. So on this one, we've just been covering the one side, but once the heifers go in there, we'll have to have that side open. I'm gonna chip some ice here. Get my glove back on. God dang it. There we go. Take our styrofoam. I know it's just a little bit more work and something that you don't really want to be dealing with is water, right? But trust me, you don't want to be dealing with water when it's frozen. It's kind of like so. There we go. That's gonna freeze in there pretty hardcore. I'm gonna have to lift it out a little bit, and I probably won't be able to do it with this. There we go. There, like that. But this way, it helps insulate the top half to keep the heat in the water so your bowl doesn't freeze up. And just those little things like that make a hell of a difference at the end of the day. Okay, I gotta deal with our chickens, pick some eggs, and that's it. We're calling it a day. I'll let you guys go. Give us the old thumbs up, comment, subscribe. It's free. It's free, guys. It's free to subscribe. So get in there and hit that little button and subscribe to the channel. And fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch you all later.